You are talking about huge amounts of money going into these projects to create housing for people, where they have solutions, but they tear those down in favor of the big fancy ordeal that houses a very small number of people for a lot of money. And we've been saying, sounds like somebody's got a sister who's a contractor and they're getting some kickbacks, or something is going on, because why would you pay that much money? Here's another example. The Portland Loo costs like $80,000 a piece for five of them. But we have over here all these public restrooms that are shut down. They're not 24 hours. And then, of course, houseless people travel, go over to the loo, and if there's anything wrong, they're locked. So they're still messed around. And why is this happening? Why are we spending these huge amounts of money for half solutions?
That's true. There are literally thousands of missing units of housing in our community
What do you mean missing units of
that should
housing?
have been built for the amount of money spent.
Ah,
For example, in the city of Portland last year, 800 and some units of housing were built privately, 20 some projects. The average cost was a little over 100,000 per unit. On that basis alone, what they have spent on projects, the villa, 180 million total cost, uh, Iris Court, and now Hillsdale Terrace, there are literally thousands of missing units of housing for the total cost of these projects. And not even taking into consideration, to begin with, what they tore down with some rehab would have been perfectly livable.
okay, so I'm very, very excited about this because, okay, you know, you, I don't. All I do is I serve coffee. I stay up. I talk to people. I watch to kind of look out, try to make sure people don't have things stolen. We're protesting out here because we feel like City Hall has apparently not had good results from being able to sweep the problem under the rug by putting people in unsafe, dark corners,
Mhm.
because somehow 17 years after they started making their 10 years plans to end homelessness, last year we had an increase of 30%. So we're bringing it to them so they can see, that we are here. There are houseless people. There are people who have homes who are standing in solidarity with them, because you're easily picked off, by the system if you don't have your basics needs met. So we're trying
Right.
to be together. But we need them to see this and to understand that, we're not going to forget about this issue. This is enough. And so they're not trying. And it's not just that they have tried and failed, it's that they're trying not to try at this point. There's money.
Yes. Now, a short while ago, I'm going to estimate within the last 6 months, the Oregonian reported that the Portland Housing Bureau, which is a relatively new agency here in City Hall, headed by City Commissioner Fitch,
Fitch, yeah.
uh,
The
who
one
was
we're trying to get recalled.
who was on the board of the Housing Authority in 2002 when the Villa fiasco started. And I call it a fiasco because, like I say, there are so many missing units of housing that should have been built, especially when Mr. Emmett of Emmett International, who they gave 18 of the 201 buildings to, said to the Oregonian, and he was quoted in the Oregonian, they are in excellent condition. I wish I could have more. He recycled them, hauled them to Clackamas, and recycled them as low-income housing. Uh, the Housing Bureau, which is a relatively new thing, uh, if I remember right, sits now on $75 million, and the commissioner was quoted as saying, uh, "It's good to have this money in case something comes up. We'll be ready." My first thought was, "Have you ever thought of homelessness? It's up right now."
Yeah,
And
people are dying. That's an emergency.
and Think of all the Oregonians that could, general contractors and all their employees that could use that money right now building these projects. Last year in Portland, I'll repeat myself, 800 and some apartments were built at a cost of a little over $100,000 per unit. So 75 million, say that should be 750 apartments that could be built right now. What are they sitting on? What are they waiting for?
That's amazing. That's amazing.